All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to MaxSpeedTV. Getting in here a little late, as it is. Technology sometimes does not want to agree with us here, as it looks like they are getting ready for hot laps. Yellow flag is currently out, getting to the end of pit road. So real fast, before we get to all the good stuff, let's go through all the sponsors real fast on the MaxSpeedTV side of things. Of course, we do have SimSpeedShop.com, HRE Motorsports, Elite 7 Racing, Virtual2Reality.tv, Dirtco Media House, and of course Ohio IndyCar League, all jumping on board here to sponsor MaxSpeedTV. And on the racing side of things, we have Dirtco Media House for this series here tonight for a few more days anyway. And of course, the people putting all the money on the line, upwards of $250 purse. That is Payday GG. Big shout out to them for coming on board. Again, this is being run through their platform for esports. So definitely get on there and get signed up here. Looks like we are getting on to the track right now. So without further ado, we do want to introduce, obviously, Michaela is here in the booth with us tonight. Of course, having some technical difficulties. Apparently, iRacing doesn't work on Max, but just now figuring that out. But she is going to be in here doing what she can anyway until we can get her set up on a PC. So, if anybody out there wants to just donate a PC, that would be fun.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, as we were just saying, I'm a jinx when it comes to technology these days. So I've got two PCs and can't seem to get either of them working. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully we have all these issues out of the way for next week. But yeah, no, it's great to be here. I'm pretty excited about tonight. I hope everyone's ready to go.
I bet we will, as we're just now starting hot laps. As taking a look here, it looks like we got Dalton, Connor, Eric Myers, and David Flick out here. So a lot of good drivers here tonight. Some of these I'm sure you may know already. I'm pretty sure you might know Chance Crum. He does run the Real Midget Series. So we've got a mixture of real drivers and virtual drivers here tonight. So it's going to be very interesting.
It is, for sure. I mean, I watched Chance's introduction this week he put out, which was pretty neat. He had from his university room, which is pretty cool. So yeah, for sure, it's going to be different. We obviously having experience on a real track and then online, it's going to be cool to see the way that plans out.
It is. As right now, David Flick puts in a 13.772 to put him at the top of the charts. But again, anyone that's familiar with dirt track racing, this is just hot laps. We will be followed by heat racing, and it looks like we'll probably have about 5 heat races. And the way it's going to work here, your top 3 make it to the feature race. The top 2 are going to the trophy dash, so they get to kind of fight for where they're going to battle. Compared to that third person, they're just going to kind of have to settle into the trophy dash. And then based on how many drivers here, it looks like we're only going to have a B main, so we'll take the top 5 from the B main to stack a field of 20 of the best drivers here tonight.
It'll be pretty exciting, that's for sure.
It definitely is. A lot of great drivers. Looks like Eric Myers right now is second fastest with a 13.877. Again, for anyone just tuning in, this is a brand new series through the Virtual2Reality.tv series. This is the Northwest Focus Midget Series Driver Search. Again, they are searching for a driver to drive one of their real midgets in that series. So that's what all of this is about. So obviously, Michaela, you have been inside a real sprint car. I'm not sure if you've been in a midget or not. Definitely can tell us that. But what's it like to be in a real sprint car compared to being here on iRacing?
Honestly, I haven't yet to get on the platform, but I've heard a lot about it from so many people, and I think it goes a lot off your equipment, obviously your steering wheel mainly, but comparing a real race car to online is obviously going to be different. You can feel everything in a race car, whereas going online, you can feel the vibrations from a steering wheel, but it's obviously not going to feel everything else. And But this is the second best thing, and I think it is such an awesome invention for everybody. And gosh, what an awesome opportunity for these drivers to, you know, step into a real car. So you couldn't ask for much more.
Definitely couldn't. As a driver we're used to seeing here on the virtual side, and I'm sure you'll get to know him fairly well. That is Anthony Lepresto. He took it to the top of the charts here with a very fast time, 13.613. But right behind him, a driver that some people do know, some don't know. That is Cole Cabry. Again, that is I believe the brother of Chase Cabry. So two Cabry brothers here tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how they can stack up against this field, because I'm not sure on Cole, but I know Chase does drive in real life. So I believe his brother does as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how those guys stack up against the rest of this virtual field who have been running on here since day one.
That's so true. But I kind of hope these, you know, these virtual drivers can kind of hopefully, you know, be more competitive, or competitive, if not more competitive, than the guys that are on the actual track. That'll make for a good show. And there's nothing like a bit of competition.
Definitely is. Competition is always a good thing. Makes you push your limits a little bit. I mean, if there's no one better than you, then what's the point in going out there? So, you know, if somebody's out there a little bit faster than you, it's going to push you to be a little bit faster, and it's going to better your skills. It's like, especially my dad's always told me back when we were racing, you're only as good as your competition. If you're racing guys that you can easily beat them, well, go somewhere where you can't beat them. That's where you're going to learn, and that's what these guys are doing now. You get the mix of real versus virtual, and these guys get that chance to grow just a little bit.
Yeah, that's so true, and it even goes the other way. Like, if you have someone that's been racing on iRacing for a decent time now, and then you're getting drivers, say, if I was to go on here, I know I'm going to get beat pretty good. So I think it'd be good to see either way, you know, to see the actual drivers go up against these drivers that have been on iRacing if they haven't had much experience on here, and seeing how these iRacing drivers go up against the actual drivers. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and again, I'm just now getting to know some of these drivers. Some of them I do know, but the drivers that are out here right now, we have William Roberts just ran a 9th place time. But Harry Edwards, I've never seen him drive before. He just set the fastest time over David Flick and Eric Myers. Sorry about third fastest, but over David Flick with a 13.765. So a new driver that I've yet to see before, Jason Griffith, in the 985 machine. I have not seen him before as well. So a lot of new drivers coming out here, because I mean, here on MaxSpeedTV we have yet to cover midget series of any kind. So this is new for us. So everyone kind of getting new and getting some experience. So I'm kind of excited myself to get to cover midgets. You know, it's always fun watching the Chili Bowl. But I think we may see just as good a racing here tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's going to be really exciting, especially, you know, as you said, MaxSpeedTV hasn't done it before, so something new for some viewers to tune in. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a name that we're used to seeing, though. He's coming out on track. Dakota Kuhn. That is a pretty well-known name around here. So it'd be interesting to see how he does. And for you just getting on iRacing, hopefully we can get you on anyway here shortly. We'll be watching the 38 tonight of Tim Smith. We watched him over and over again in the 360 sprint cars. He is a proven winner, proven champion here in DSRL. So it's going to be real interesting to see how he stacks up against the field tonight with some of these real-life drivers. Again, to see him and actually get in a real sprint car would be very interesting. I have a feeling he would probably do pretty good, just hasn't had that chance to get behind the wheel.
Yeah, that's for sure. And obviously that's why this iRacing series is going to be so popular. Like, the opportunity that Northwest Focus Midgets is giving these drivers is such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. you don't have to pay, you know, it's not like you have to go out and buy a car. You don't have to find sponsors. They're giving you that opportunity. So it's definitely going to make people battle pretty hard.
It is indeed. And it's going to make for good racing. And what these drivers have to keep in mind is, you know, this is a driver search. So they're looking for good drivers, not necessarily the fastest driver out there. They want clean racing. They're going to put you in a car. They don't want that car torn up in 5 minutes after going out to practice. So they're looking for competitive yet very smart drivers. It's better to drive smart than hard, as you don't want to wreck the car going out there. So that's kind of what they're looking for here.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting fact to point out. I mean, these drivers might push it to their limits, and they might end up maybe being a little bit dirtier, or possibly, I suppose, not caring about as much because the cars are virtual. But yeah, that's something they've definitely got to think about. If they want to be picked, they've got to, you know, watch their driving at all times. Probably it's a bit nerve-wracking for them, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I was sitting here watching Bill Tomer. I've known him for quite a while now. He runs ITZR, a dirt league here on iRacing, and he said he didn't expect to be winning this thing, but right now he just set a 11th fastest time, so he's not setting a bad time. So we'll kind of see how he stacks up. I think he may do a little better than he is expecting to do here. But again, this is just hot laps. We've gone through just about half of the field. So it looks like we're going to have about 30 or so drivers here. A little over 30. And if we do have over 30 drivers here, we will have a C main tonight. So if there is a C main, we will take the top 4 from the C main and then take the top 5 from the B if we have to do that. So it's going to change up a little bit here as to how you want to battle. Nobody wants to be in the C main, but at the same time, it's kind of cool if we get the opportunity here to kind of watch these guys run the alphabet.
Yeah, for sure. Gosh, anybody that ever runs the alphabet is so amazing to watch. It definitely creates a crowd favorite, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I honestly, I am not 100% sure who I want to go for here tonight. With so many new drivers here, new faces, as we're watching Brian right now in the 45. He's got a nice looking paint job there, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm always a fan of anybody that runs the famous BC logo for Brian Clausen, as he was probably one of the best, if not the best, midget driver period to ever get inside a race car.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone loved BC, no matter who you speak to, and it is always neat to see his logo around. I know even my brother ordered a helmet to get painted by Shell Shock, and he received it and it had a huge BC right over his mouth, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, it definitely is. As we're looking here, Brendan Rogers just took a 5th fastest time right now with a 13.746. So this track is not wearing out. I was talking to some of these drivers earlier in here, and interesting enough, this is the 2nd smallest track we have on iRacing, and the cushion isn't even building up as much on here as it's doing some of the bigger tracks. So very interesting there that it's not. So we may not see that cushion play a whole lot of factor here, as it looks like everyone for the most part is really going around the bottom of the track anyway right now. But you know, with over 30 drivers here, I have a feeling this track is going to get very slick here tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. Even being a smaller track, you know, and having that many drivers, it's bound to happen. So,
yeah.
And who knows? This cushion might come in later on. We'll see.
It very well could, because this track I don't believe is going to reset. So that could get very interesting. It looks like the next group of guys are getting ready to come out. These are getting some of the drivers we've seen before. Kevin Lovey's, John Lopresto, Chance Crum, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce the 28 here, Jesse Scholdenfelt. Hopefully that is right. We'll do our best here. Again, these are a lot of new drivers here. So once we have a week to kind of get used to their names, we'll learn how to pronounce them properly. Because just like here in the booth, although I haven't left the state of Texas very much here, but I'm all the way from Texas, and you all the way from Australia. So the same thing goes for these drivers. A lot of drivers that are from all across the world's really coming in here.
Yeah, you know what? I was so blown away. I know this week I did a little intro and we mentioned Australia and Canada, but we mentioned Australia and New Zealand, but poor Canada forgot to get a mention here. So I apologize to you guys, but how exciting is that? We've got 4 countries. Like, you don't get that very often, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, about the only time you'll ever see that many different countries conversing into one place is something like the Chili Bowl, where there's a huge purse involved, or just the thrill of knowing that you beat all those people. I mean, the Chili Bowl is so big, because obviously we bring it up because of midgets here, but just to win that thing, just the pride you get with that's probably worth more than the money. I believe there was like 400 to 600 drivers there this year, so that is a lot of drivers, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of these guys there in the near future.
That's for sure. We'll definitely know by the end of this season where everyone's at, and hey, you might be seeing some future talent pop up that you know might come later this year, so it'll be good.
You very well could. As you look at John Lopresto, family relation to Anthony Lopresto, currently 8th fastest here in hot laps with the 13.801. He's one that we will look here tonight. Very quick driver. We'll kind of have to see where he stacks up. Will Sylvester, brand new driver that we have not covered before, just outside the top 10 right now, 12th place with a 13.947. So a very good time for himself. It looks like Kevin Lovey's is going to take 16th with a 14.022, but those guys are done. We're getting ready for the next group of drivers to come out. Another group that we've seen before, Lewis Hewitt, Austin Carr, and Chad Miller, but obviously we haven't got you on here on iRacing yet. But when you do, those are some drivers. Austin Carr, you have definitely got to watch out for him. He is very quick.
I look forward to it. And obviously, I might have to be a little bit biased, but Aussie to Hewitt. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
He definitely, too, is one we'll be looking for in that 666 machine. That is definitely his number. I've never seen anybody else with it, and that is the number he runs on here. He, too, is very quick. I believe he actually won the Sprint Car Series last week or the week before. So he, too, could be a threat as they're getting ready to get the green flag. But really, as I said, racing is such a different sport. You really never know who's going to win until the checkered flag waves and the dust settles.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, you could have a slide job on the last corner, or passing the flag for that matter, or like I've also seen people get taken out and flip over the finish line and even win. So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was watching a video the other day of Kyle Larson and I can't remember, it was Brad somebody, one of his good friends, getting together on the last lap coming out of turn 4. Larson actually got a flat tire and tore up half the car, basically limps it across the finish line, but he got the win. So anything is possible in dirt track racing, as it looks like Lewis Hewitt's going to take 8th fastest time with the 13.8 flat. So like you said, we'll be looking to him, a fellow Aussie here, definitely a very fast driver too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to following these guys and cheering them on a little bit.
Definitely, and looks like Chad Miller. I did not know Chad Miller is actually part of UW Motorsports. That is Union Workers United, so I did not realize he was part of their team, but he indeed is. So, you know, if they're sharing sets here at all, he could be a threat as well, as he's currently 16th fastest with a 13.985.
That's great to see. A strong start, that's for sure.
And I'm not sure here. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to come out. Looks like Lebendowski is not going to come out. There we go. Okay, they are going to come out. Just getting some last minute stuff they're taking care of. Again, they are here all in TeamSpeak with us, so they have to get the command to go before they can go out on the track. It looks like Brandon Steele, Sean Wallenfels Jr., and Jonathan Smith going to come out, as well as, I'm not sure, there it is, Dakota Kuhn's going to be coming out as well.
Let's see how these guys go.
That was kind of, I thought I saw Dakota Kuhn already out there here once, but that could have just been earlier in practice. Again, they did have about an hour practice before we got started. So these guys got to go out there and practice just a little bit, because the way this is run, once they get into this lobby, strict orders, they are not allowed on the track. Again, they don't get any practice time. So if these guys didn't make it to practice, they are coming in here kind of fresh and kind of blind.
Yeah, that's for sure. But realistically, you don't get a practice in real life. So if you're with most series and you're visiting a track for the first time, hot laps is generally the first time you're getting on the track. So yeah, and it's unfortunate, but at the same time, that's the way it usually is. So
yeah, you don't get to just go out there and tear the track up. These track owners, especially in real life, they spend hours upon hours all week prepping these tracks. They sheep's footing them, putting water on them, packing them in, sheep's footing them again over and over again. And they don't want you going out there just wearing that track down any faster than it already has to.
Yeah, exactly. And generally, I suppose it depends what series you're with, but a lot of the guys have visited these tracks and like saving the track for the race. They want to save their equipment and, you know, their usage of their engines and everything for the actual race itself. So
yes, they definitely do. And actually, while we have him in here, definitely a big shout out to Caleb Hart in chat, helping us out with the pronunciation of some of these names. Again, can't promise I might not still mess it up at least once or twice. But, you know, once we get to know these guys a little bit more, we'll spend time practicing with them. And we definitely will get to know those names, and we'll make sure we get them pronounced properly as this series goes. Again, we have 20 races in this series, so this is number 1. So still a lot of racing left to go.
yeah, that's for sure. Be interesting to see how they all go over time, though.
Yeah, and we're seeing, watching in chat here on YouTube with Nathan Davis talking about his Rift. That was a very interesting. We just had an update yesterday, and it actually, something happened that actually hurt these Rifts and VR headsets. They're not working. So all these people that had the VR headsets and had that little bit of an advantage, you would say, may not have that anymore, as they're having to go back to single or triple monitors. So that is going to make it a very interesting for them here, having to go back to just a monitor.
That's brutal, but I suppose at the same time, it will definitely level out the playing field, but definitely at the same time, it will throw them off. Like, going from something that you get used to back to the way things originally were, it will definitely take them a little bit to adjust to.
It definitely would. And it looks like we're getting ready to get to the heat racing here, as I don't see, I'm not sure if we're going to have anybody else come out or not. So doesn't look like we are. So we're going to go ahead and step away real fast here to go to a quick commercial from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back after that. We should be starting ready for heat race number 1.
We're for guys who wrench, torque, tune, who see dirty hands as proof of a hard day's work. We're for guys who like to make things go faster, higher, further, and stop them in an instant. Who love tools and power. Guys who like to figure it out when no one else can. Who can tell the type of bike by the sound of the engine. Why are they so important? Because without them, this won't get delivered on time. And he doesn't cross the finish line, and the world literally stops moving. At UTI, we don't settle for good, we drive for great. The world's top companies help build our programs so you can get the education you need to achieve success in the automotive, diesel, motorcycle, collision repair, and marine industries. We're for success, your success. Universal Technical Institute.
Alright folks, we are back here real fast again. We are just moments away from getting started. Thought at one point we had somebody from the Northwest Focus Midget Series here with us. I don't see him here at the moment. But why not? We'll see if we can't get Joel here real quick. So give us just another moment, and we're going to get Joel here in the booth if we can. And we'll see if we can't get a quick word in with him. Kind of to give you a little bit more insight into this, what this whole series is about, and maybe some plans that we have coming forward. So give us just one, and we'll be right back. Again, Heat Race 1 will be coming up here in just a moment. Alright, we are back here real fast. We have just a moment here. We just got back from a commercial break real quick. But I believe Heat Race 1 is just about ready to come out. But wanted to get a quick word in with you here, as it looks like they are rolling out. Kind of just to explain what this series really is all about. Obviously, it's not just about getting the ride.
Hello, sorry, I had technical difficulties. Repeat that.
We know it's obviously they're trying to get into a real a midget here, but that's not the only purpose of this. Obviously to help these drivers find a diamond in the rough, possibly. You know, just to give people a feel of what this series, its general purpose is.
Well, you know, I've been on iRacing for over 5 years now, and what I've learned across the board is that there's a lot of very talented people, and unfortunately they're hidden online, and people can't see them drive, and people can't see the commitment and the amount of time that they put into this. And what we're trying to do is broadcast that out and build some validity to the iRacing platform, in the sense that, you know what, there is a good group of talented drivers on here, and they're accessible, and if we can get them seen, get them seat time. So whether the seat time comes through us or car owners who are out there who watch the broadcast, can kind of maybe say, hey, you know what, I'm going to contact that person. Look for them on Facebook. Hey, you know what, would you like to get a ride in a car? And, you know, I saw you drive the other night. Just whatever we can do to get more iRacers into real cars. I think they'll rep well. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And that is, we try to do our best here on MaxSpeedTV as well to help with that. Obviously, you know, getting their driver name out there, getting their picture out there. All that goes to help these drivers get noticed. I mean, it could very well happen. But not to cut you off too much here, it looks like we're actually about ready to start heat race number 1 here, as it looks like Anthony Lepresto is going to start it. So again, thanks for joining us here real fast in the booth, as we're getting a little rubbing going on here before the race starts. Again, heat race number 1 just about ready to get started.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right, green flag is in the air, and we are racing. Anthony Lepresto out front right now. Cole Cabry right behind him in second place in the number 12 machine, and John Lepresto right behind him. So 2 Leprestos in here in one race. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play it out here tonight. So far, we are green flag racing. You've been around racing probably a little bit longer than I have, Michaela. So in your thoughts, if you've been around midgets any at all, what kind of racing should the fans expect here in the feature race later tonight?
Yeah, honestly, I come from a sprint car winged family, but I raced non-winged sprint cars myself a few years ago. So probably for about 5 years. Honestly, when I go out and watch racing, I have a lot of friends in the world of outlaws, but when USAC are racing at the same time, I can't help myself. I have to go, because seriously, non-wing, I love it. The passing, the slide jobs, it's definitely something you need to expect for the A-main. It's exciting.
Definitely is, as they just put the green flag back out. Will Sylvester, one we're going to keep an eye on here tonight. He's fighting his way. He slid back there a little bit. Caution did just come out, and it looks like he may have been involved, as he's towards the back right now in that number 99 machine. We're going to see him move his way up, I'm pretty sure. Again, he was pretty fast in practice from what I remember. So he's just got to make his way back up to the front. So that will be a good job to do so.
That'll be interesting to watch, that's for sure.
It will. Right now, they've kind of spread out, so it's kind of interesting to watch. The closest battle right now really is Cole Cabry and John Lepresto right now battling for second position. But again, the way it works is, again, the top 2 make it to the feature, and they go to the trophy dash to determine where they start. The third place car makes it just to the feature. They don't get to go to the trophy dash to kind of work their way up to first, possibly. So you really want to be in the top 2, but if nothing else, you know, a third place is not a bad finish. That is where John Lepresto is sitting right now, but he'd love to take second place from Cole Cabry.
Yeah, obviously getting into the trophy dash, you know, it gives you the opportunity to move up before the A-main even starts itself. But in saying that, like you said, third place gets you in there. You don't have to go through the B to the A. You're already confirmed a spot, and you can always move up during the features. So
you can indeed, and heat race 1 is already over. So they're running 10 laps here, and that went by very quickly. So 10 laps going by extremely fast. But it's going to be Anthony Lepresto, followed by Cole Cabry and John Lepresto. Those are going to be your top 3 cars making it to the feature race. But they're fixing to get off the backstretch here. That is the way they do it here. They park them on the backstretch, so in the order they finish, that way race control can obviously, you know, write down where they are. They have a very advanced scoring system here for iRacing standards anyway. So that's all happening while the next group of guys are getting ready to come out for heat race number 2.
sounds good. We'll see what happens in this heat race.
It's definitely, it looks like we're going to have Harry Edwards coming out, Sean Wallenfels Jr., Eric Myers going to be coming out, Marty Barnes coming out, Kevin Lovey's coming out, and Jason Griffith coming out. So a mix here of drivers we know and drivers might not know, which is making it just all that more exciting here to watch this racing.
Yeah, honestly, this is how you discover, like Joel said, this is how you discover the up-and-coming drivers. Just like going to an actual dirt race. It
really is, and as far as the driver count goes here tonight, as they just get the green flag, there's 32 drivers here tonight. This is probably one of the biggest midget races that I've ever seen here on iRacing, and so far one of the cleanest too, as Sean Wallenfels Jr. is trying to hang on to second place from Eric Myers, but he's having a hard time doing it right now. Again, Eric Myers, a newer driver that we've not got to cover before, and he is giving his run for his money right now with Sean Wallenfels. I think he is there going to take a slide job, and he is actually going to take second position from him.
Gotta love watching slide jobs. It's pretty awesome to have the opportunity to do that online, that's for sure.
It is indeed, and it looks like a caution may come out. So far, there it is. Caution is indeed coming out. As we had a car going around, and actually, correction, no caution coming out. It looked like they were slowing down. Somebody thought the caution was out, but no caution did. Jason Griffith just... him and Sean Wallenfels Jr. made contact and flipped it over, but he got to pit road, so no caution came out. So very interesting there. But usually single car incidents, if they can get it off the track, cautions do not come out.
That's good. Gets, you know, the racing going. I mean, once you get in a rhythm of things and you're in a race car and everything's working great, you really don't want a caution. So the less cautions, the better, unless you're at the back trying to move up, that's for sure.
Yeah, you definitely want to see one if you want to regroup the field and have a chance to get up there and get the win. But I can guarantee you right now, your leader right there, Harry Edwards, he does not want to see a caution. That number 66 midget. He just says, keep it green, let me stay out front, as he has a pretty sizable lead of about probably 6 to 8 car lengths over the rest of the field, and over Eric Myers sitting in second place. So yeah, like you said, he wants to see this thing keep going green.
Yeah, exactly. The next thing he wants to see is the checkers. So another interesting thing to watch for is to see how these drivers hold their composure. Some drivers, once they're out and they really want that win, they might drive harder than they need to without even realizing, you know, how far behind someone is, which obviously that is the benefit of racing online. You can you've got a better idea, but yeah, having the view still sitting within the car, it's going to be exciting.
It is, as that race is over. So it looks like it's going to be Harry Edwards, followed by the 17 of Eric Myers, going onto the trophy dash into that feature race. And coming in third is going to be the 27 of Marty Barnes. So those are your top three that will make it to the actual feature race. Again, top two making it to the trophy dash, and a third place just kind of having to settle for wherever they go. But that means Heat Race 3 is coming up. Moving along fairly quickly here tonight. And that's what a lot of these drivers were saying they wanted. They wanted to get this going and get it going quick, as Heat Race 3 is already out on the track.
You definitely don't have the opportunity to run things through that quickly. It's pretty neat that the drivers are able to, you know, voice their opinion and get it to move quickly. Quick race meeting's always awesome, that's for sure.
It is indeed. And the guys, surprisingly so, where we had that one caution, not to jinx it, so I better find some wood to knock on, but we've only had that one little caution, and so far we've gone green to checkered for every race. So a very good racing so far indeed, as it looks like Tim Smith is going to be on the inside for the pole here for Heat Race 3, and there he's going to take the green flag. So a lot of another good group of drivers. David Flick in here. Chance Crum, again, he actually races in this Northwest Focus Midget Series, as he is currently in third place, trying to hang on to that position. But, you know, that's the cool thing, like we were talking about. This is for a chance to drive a real sprint car. So somebody, whoever wins this series, whoever the drivers they pick, could be racing with him in real life just in a short 20 weeks.
Yeah, exactly right. And you have to wonder whether Chance being in this race, whether that might put a target on him, and all the, you know, online drivers might try and, you know, prove themselves by beating him. It's definitely going to be interesting to watch.
It is indeed, and anytime you have somebody famous or that does it in real life, especially we've seen Larson on here, Bell on here, Tony Stewart. These guys come on here, and people kind of change the way they drive. We had a big dirt race not long ago with Tony Stewart, and people were actually, they weren't racing as hard as they normally would anybody else, and he made the comment to people that, or to some other people, that he wanted people to race him hard, race him, bump with him. He wants that, and I'm sure these drivers want that too, just because they race in real life. Obviously, Chance Crum is not going to be quite up there on the same level as Tony Stewart, but I mean, these guys want to race just as hard as anybody else, whether they're famous or not, whether they race in real life or not. They're here to duke it out, and they want some good racing. So hopefully we'll see that here, and nobody will wreck them intentionally or anything like that, but race them hard and, prove, look, I can beat you. I deserve to be in the real car.
Yeah, I think that's the most exciting part about it, personally. To be able to have the opportunity to showcase your talent against someone that actually races in a car, it takes things to a whole new level.
It really does. As right now we're watching a battle for third position with Dakota Kuhn. He's kind of spread out at the moment. There's not any major battles going on, as that is going to do it here for that heat race, as Tim Smith's going to take the win, and we'll see who's piling in behind him. It is going to be the 95 right there, Dakota Kuhn coming in, followed by the 56 of David Flick. So those are going to be your top three drivers here. But again, very quickly, these guys are not playing around here tonight. That was Heat Race 3. Heat Race 4 is already getting to the end of pit road. So again, only one more heat race after this, and we're moving on to 32 drivers. It looks like we'll move on to the B main. We may have a C main. We will confirm that. I believe we should. But again, regardless, Heat Race 4 coming out, and we're moving so quickly here tonight.
You definitely wouldn't see this in real life, that's for sure.
No, because we've seen already one car flipping. Obviously, in real life, that car would have been destroyed. You would have seen parts flying off. If nothing else, I'm pretty sure the exhaust would have came off. You would have had safety crew out there attending to the driver. So it would have taken a lot longer, but we don't have that here. The safety of the driver is not a concern. They just get a new car and come back out and race later on. It looks like, obviously, I believe that was that 985 that did that. He'll be back, but it'll probably be in the C or the B main. It looks like they're just about ready here, as we're already seeing some bumping, and we haven't even got the green flag yet between Chase Cabry and Austin Carr. A green flag is out, and very interesting. Chase Cabry just popped a wheelie starting the race, but these are a little bit different here as we're watching a battle for the lead. They're a little funky animal here when it comes to power versus weight here. Like the sprint cars, they are one of the fastest cars probably as far as power to weight ratio, and these things will pop wheelies very easy.
Yeah, it's quite frequent, and especially, not having the aerodynamics that a wing car does, it can happen. I mean, obviously wing cars have wheelies too, but big cars without those aerodynamics, keeping, the wheels on the ground, it happens.
It does indeed. And these guys are fighting so hard right now. Again, Chase Cabry and Austin Carr, they're battling for the lead right now, and it's turning into a really good battle up here at the front. I'm not sure who's going to get it, but it looks like right now Chase Cabry does have the lead, at least for the moment. But I can promise you, Austin Carr, like I talked about him earlier, he is such a good driver. He's not going to just sit there and be like, all right, you're a real racer in real life. You're going to beat me. No, he's going to come up here and he's going to say, look, you may race in real life. Well, I want to, and I'm going to show you that I deserve it, and I'm going to come up here and knock the socks off of you, and I'm just going to walk away with this. And he was doing a fantastic job of it as he's kind of fallen off just a little bit here, about the halfway point.
Hopefully he keeps coming back.
He is. I definitely would think he will. Yeah, he's a good driver. We've seen him race in VLR quite a few times. But it looks like another one. We have the 7 of Christopher Kurdzil. Hopefully that is right. Coming in here again, Christopher Kurdzil in the number 7. Doesn't have a paint job on there, but if I've learned anything from my years of being around racing, that, you know, just because you don't have a paint job don't mean you ain't got a fast motor under there. As they make a little contact between him and Austin Carr, and he will take the position of second from him. So it looks like Austin Carr is going to slide back up, but I think it may be a little bit too late as the yellow flag is out. So that race is already over very quickly again.
These guys aren't mucking around, that's for sure, you know. It's great to see that they're so clean and they're getting it in there and they're racing. They're just taking it really seriously. They really want this ride, you know, and it's great to see.
It really is. And we were talking about that's it. This is the last heat race before we move on to the mains and then to the feature. Obviously the trophy dash in there as well. And it looks like we have your favorite pick here for tonight coming out on the track. And that 666 machine going to be starting on the outside here, row 1. That is Lewis Hewitt.
Yeah, let's see how he goes.
And he's fast. He's a very fast driver. We've seen him win. So we'll kind of just see how he does here tonight. That I'm feeling he'll finish in the top 3 at least. He may very well come away with the win. Brendan Rogers won. We have not got to see too terribly much, so we'll keep an eye on him. Bill Tomer starting a little further back, and we'll keep an eye on him as well, as he's going to be starting on row 3 on the inside. Hewitt's already getting ready. You can hear him revving it up just a little bit. Trying to get up there and get to the high side to get a run as the green flag comes out. And Hewitt's going to take to the outside. Everyone else is kind of taking to the inside. So he's going to try to run that cushion a little bit, possibly, and see if he can make a run of it.
There's nothing like running off a cushion, but that's one of those things in dirt racing. Let's see if they're going to work for you or it isn't. So let's see what happens.
So far, it seems to be working. He's able to hold off the 28 very quickly here. So he is doing a good job of it. So, again, he is able to hold him off for the moment. And he actually has a little bit of a gap over him. We'll see if he can get up to the leader, Brendan Rogers, though. Have to go back and check our stuff here to make sure we get that one. I believe if we look at the 28, that is Jesse Schalotfelt. Hopefully that is correct. That is what we got in chat. So the 28 is, if we do pronounce that right, it is Jesse Schalotfelt. So again, he's putting a good run here. Again, he's trying to run down Lewis Hewitt. We talk about Lewis Hewitt being so fast. But right now, everyone's really kind of strung out. They're separated, which is going to make it interesting because you think about it, you've got these guys spread out now. But, you know, every race has been like this. So if everybody's spread out in the heats, come feature time, there's going to be some racing throughout the entire field.
Yeah, that's true. They might branch off into their own little packs and race each other pretty hard. It gets pretty interesting at some of these races. You know, you get drivers at the back often are driving just as hard and racing one another just as hard as the people at the front of the pack. And unfortunately, it doesn't help them get any closer to becoming to the front of the pack because they're racing so hard for, say, 15th position. Whereas if it doesn't happen in racing, but is if they were just trying to move forward, then eventually they would, you know, reach the front a little bit quicker. But it gives you more to watch on, you know, each race rather than just what's happening up front. So we'll see.
It does indeed here, as it looks like Blake Anderson is out of the race, bringing out your first caution here of this race, and only the second caution of the night. Looking at the track here as they're going by, it looks like, here's, we'll switch to a different angle, there's still a lot of moisture up towards the top of this track, a lot of area that hasn't even been touched yet. So kind of interesting to see that nobody's really running the high side, as the green flag's going to come back out once again, and Brendan Rogers is going to get a huge jump on that start.
That'll be definitely benefiting him, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's what especially this late, as there's probably only about 3 laps left in this race. Again, everyone is slowing it down, and that may have been it right there. Yellow flag is back out, and they are pulling it to a stop, so that will do it, a 1-lap shootout. It's going to go to Brendan Rogers, Lewis Hewitt finishing second, followed by the 28 of Jesse Schalotfeld. So that is going to be your top 3, and that will do it here for heat races. They are done. So again, give us just a moment. We'll be right back with, I believe, we may have a C-main here, a 32. I'm not 100% sure. Again, they have a cutoff, and I think it's 35, so it looks like maybe just the B-main. We want to clarify that real fast for you, so give us just a minute. We're going to get a word in with race control, and we will be right back. All right, we are back here. Trophy Dash is getting ready to come out. While we have just a moment, we're going to get another word in from one of our sponsors here real fast. So we'll be right back after a quick word from one of those sponsors.
This is the all-new Chevy Equinox. It offers rear seat reminder, built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Apple CarPlay compatibility, and teen driver technology. It's crazy. Now, to get all these features, you'd need all 6 of those crossovers.
That's insane.
Yep, and you still wouldn't get everything that's in this Equinox.
Wow. 6 cars in one.
Get 0% financing for 60 months or $2,250 total cash allowance on this Equinox LT when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, as your Trophy Dash driver is coming out onto the track. Again, everyone's going to make it. This is your top 2 from each heat race. These guys are going to get the chance to duke it out here to kind of determine where you're going to start here. Obviously, you want to start as close as you can, and the way to do that is obviously to win the thing, or at least finish in the top 2. With this strength of field here tonight, you're really going to need to finish as high as you can. Otherwise, you probably don't have as big a chance here, as there goes the green flag.
Yeah, and as quick as these races are going without these yellow lights, as we just discussed, if they're not getting any yellow lights, it's going to be rough to move up.
It is indeed. As something happened there to Lewis Hewitt. He's a little bit behind the pace right now, so he's got to pick it up just a little bit. I'm not sure. Looks like he popped a wheelie maybe and got out of shape. We were talking about it. Wheelies are so easy to do in here, and I would imagine during the feature, if we see a caution, it's probably going to be on a restart when someone pops a wheelie and collects a few cars with them.
Well, I suppose, unfortunately for him, but it's always entertainment for the viewers tuning in. We obviously appreciate everyone that's watching tonight, so.
Definitely do, as a caution is going to come out for the first time here. Again, it's so hard to see here. They get this going so quick. Once we get to the feature, it'll make it a little bit easier, you know, to tell who is where. So again, it makes it easier on that aspect of things. But they get them going so fast here that it's almost hard to see where the caution is. So keep in mind, folks, for anyone out there watching, once we get to the feature race, we will go back. We will look at replays. Again, all replays will be brought to you by Geico. So again, we will go to the Geico replay cam. But right now, we just don't do that here. But once we get to that feature, we will do it. As there it is, once more, green flag is out. Another one I want to keep an eye on right there on the inside, Brendan Rogers. Again, we don't get to cover him a whole lot. We don't see him racing DSRL or some of the other leagues. That I broadcast anyway. We may cover him in one of the probably like 30 races we do a week here on MaxSpeedTV. But he's battling right now with Anthony Lepresto, and he very well could take the lead. So definitely a very good driver as they drag race to the line, but it's going to be Anthony Lepresto. Well, checking in with your favorite driver here tonight. I don't see him, as it looks like he may already be out. I'm not sure what happened to there he is, Lewis Hewitt. So I thought he was out there a minute, but we did find him. He does have some damage to the front of that car. You can see his radiator there. So something definitely happened to that car, as we're getting the green flag after a little short caution there.
Yeah, it's crazy that you can even see the damages on here. It's pretty neat.
It really is. And it's been in the works for a while here. Looks like Anthony Lepresto is way out of shape, and he's actually going to flip that car over. Oh, that is definitely not good. Looks like that is going to hurt him extremely bad here, as everyone slowing down. So that will bring out yellow here, leading the race. Not sure what happened to that car, but all of a sudden it just started popping wheelies out of nowhere and got into the outside wall.
That's never nice.
It indeed not what you want to see when you're leading the race, to just have your car go crazy on you. But again, it goes to show for anyone that has never been in a midget or just in a sprint car in general, just how difficult these things are to drive.
Yeah, and obviously that happens in actual cars quite more frequently than you would actually think. Things go wrong and you hit the wall, you know. Even accelerators get stuck on, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that definitely is not something you want to see. I've seen that anywhere from big cars to go-karts. As there's the green flag, once again, Chance Crumb's going to lead them to the line this time. So the real-time driver leading the virtual race right now, but still being chased down by the 20 of Brendan Rogers. But yes, I've seen some scary situations when that throttle sticks, especially with these little kids in go-karts. That is a very dangerous situation. These kids don't know what to do, and it gets very scary for them.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's one thing to be an adult and have that happen, but when it happens to kids... I heard about a horrid incident back in Australia in Perth in a junior dragster. So it's something that unfortunately we are yet to avoid, but hopefully maybe one day in the future there'll be some, safety equipment where there can be some fail-safe situation where, you can at least stop it from happening at some point, but who knows.
Yeah, definitely, and that's going to do it for the Trophy Dash. It looked like the win did go to Chance Crumb, but he got off the track there a little early, and they have to be careful of that. If the admins don't see you, if they don't see that you were in the lead, I mean, they obviously know who the leader is, but you have instructions to get to the backstretch and stop. He didn't do that, and every once in a while, they will go ahead and score you in last if they don't see you there. So you don't want that. Again, you're told to get to the backstretch. If you don't do it, you don't follow those instructions, it could result in putting you in the back and forfeiting that win here, and that's not something you want to do in a Trophy Dash race.
No, definitely not. It's just like not going to the scales, I suppose, realistically.
Yeah, it kind of is. That's essentially what it is. And they're not playing around here. Checkered flags waving here in the session, so we're already moving on to the B main. So after the B main, the only thing that's left is your feature race here. So again, nobody playing around. We're getting ready for the next session. Be a quick night here. We've only been here about an hour total between hot laps, heats, and the Trophy Dash. So again, we talked about it, and these drivers were wanting this to move faster, and there was a huge debate on it, but it looks like it is moving along very quickly. So they definitely got what they wanted.
Yeah, that's for sure. No mucking around tonight.
No, and again, it kind of stinks here that you're having to watch the replay here, which is a little behind, but it is good to have you in the booth. Of course, always nice to have someone's second chair here. But hopefully we'll get it all sorted out and get you on iRacing here. Makes it even worse, kind of, iRacing gets you hooked up with a VIP and all this and that, and then can't even get on it because of Mac not wanting to let iRacing work. So
I know iRacing must think I'm ungrateful or something. I was so excited, and I went and got all this equipment and finally got it hooked up. Borrowed a friend steering wheel and pedal, and still somehow the technology has jinxed me. So I apologize to you all. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, it's definitely disappointing that I can't live commentate with you right now, but I hope, you guys are still enjoying listening in, and hopefully in the coming weeks I won't sound like such an amateur, and I might be able to talk about what's going on with the track. So
hopefully, maybe if iRacing happens to be tuning in here tonight, maybe they'll hook you up with a free computer or something. You never know. We've crazier things. Something tells me they're not quite that generous. They're pretty generous people and work with you, but something tells me a free computer's probably not in the works. But hey, you never know. You can't hurt to throw it out there. So
you can. I mean, we might need to ask someone maybe that sells computers rather than iRacing. But again, I was so grateful just to have the opportunity to have a VIP account, and who knows, maybe I'll be able to get on there and race some of these guys, and then I'll have a fair idea of how much work it really does take to be at the competitive level that they are.
It definitely is a huge thrill just to be in here racing on these levels. I know one thing, I will stick to the booth. That is where I'm best at here, as everyone's kind of putting in their first laps here. It looks like we're going to have 14 cars here in the B main. We're going to be taking the top 5 from this race, so everybody's going to be fighting for position here.
Yeah, 5 isn't many with that many cars. It's a little crazy, but hey, it makes for a good show, so let's see what happens.
It does, and it looks like, again, these are just a lot of new names to us, so we're doing the best we can here. We will clarify all these names before we come back next week. But Seth Hespy, hopefully that is right, is your pole sitter here. As there it is, green flags out to start the B main, and he got a huge jump over the 56. Taking a look here, the 56 is David Flick. Sean Wallenfels Jr. is going to go around though, and it looks like so far no caution, as it was a single car incident. As right there will be caution is officially going to come out. So if my calculations is great, we did not complete a lap. So definitely we're going to have a restart here. They're going to go double file, and we're going to try to do this one more time.
Let's see how it changes.
Definitely so far single file, but again, that's typically how it is till they get the lineup correct, and they'll go double file. And apparently we have some liars in our chat, because we got Nate Davis saying that I'm an all-pro driver. He's either crazy or a liar, because there is no way I'm an all-pro driver by any means. That is so far from the truth, it's not even funny. Oh.
Hey, maybe we should get you out there one night to see how you go against these guys.
That we could probably do that, but you know, I'm not sure if they'd be too happy with all the cautions, but especially tonight, they've been doing so good here as we're back racing once again, and we got a three-way battle for the lead going on, as it looks like they are indeed slowing down. So caution's going to come out one more time, and it looks like it's going to be the 01 of William Roberts is going to bring it out this time. So he's on pit road, just getting into the inside wall. And getting word in chat here too. We were just talking about, where did he go? The leader, there he is, Seth Hespy, apparently is former Grace Harbor Raceway Focus Midget Champion. So not only do we have actual racers in here, we have champions racing with us tonight. So making it all the more exciting. You know, if somebody can possibly get by him and beat him, knowing that you beat a real-life champion. Oh.
Yeah, he might be another one just with that target on him.
And speaking of target, we've got about a 6-car pile up here, and no question about it. I believe that will, as there it is, that is going to bring out a caution. Several cars being involved, including your leader here. So let's actually take a quick look here and go back to that. It looked like somebody just slid up and just slammed into the side of the leader. That may have been the 8 car that did that. That was a violent wreck that ended up taking about 6 cars into it.
That's something we definitely haven't seen too much of tonight, but definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, watching the replay, looks like maybe Seth got a little bit too sideways into the corner is what happened. And the 8 came up, Kevin Lovey's, and just kind of had nowhere to go. I mean, he just came up on him so quick, and just couldn't get the car stopped in time, slid it right into the side, and several cars getting collected into it after that.
Definitely not how you want to start the race, that's for sure.
It's not, and they are stopping on the track. We have not seen this before. They are going to red flag the race. So here we are. Everyone stopped on the track while they get everything sorted out. So again, that's a new one. We've not seen them actually completely red flag a race before here, but they are doing so. It looks like they are going to start rolling again. Race control may have had to take care of something real fast, get them in the correct order, but they are rolling once again. It's, you know, typically a red flag is reserved for very special occasions, but it does happen in racing, though, that red flags do come out.
Yeah, obviously this is a different circumstance, but if it was an actual race meeting, they usually last a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, they definitely do. That's the last thing you want to see. Red flags, I like to refer to them as hot dog breaks, but because, you know, that's about what you have time to do. Go get you a hot dog, hamburger, and all sorts of good stuff, drinks, eats, because typically during a red flag, you're going to be sitting there for at least 20-30 minutes or more.
Yeah, exactly right. And gosh, I mean, if something happened to the fence or something, you could be sitting there for a decent time.
You could be, as you get out the welders and have to weld the fence back together. As looks like Kevin Loveys and William Roberts are out of the race already, so those two done as we're back racing here. So 2 drivers out of the race.
Definitely not the way you want to finish, in a B main.
No, it's not. As you'll see here, everyone's slowing down. Caution coming out once again. Take a look again. It looks like the 45 of Brian is out of the race. So unfortunate, another driver on pit road. I believe if we do get it right, that Brian as Quinija is, I believe, how you pronounce that name. So that was the pronunciation we got. The green flag back out. We have 9 laps to go out of the 20 here in the B main. So we're already over the halfway mark.
Time flies.
It does. These cars are flying, and so does time very quickly here. As we're look back here to the 92 of Seth Hespy. He is back about mid-pack to the rear of this field now after that incident. Again, just got it a little sideways and got collected with the 8. The 8 actually out of the race already of Kevin Loveys. But Seth is definitely trying to work his way back up. Again, top 5 make it. Right now, we're just kind of keeping an eye on the battles. Once they settle, we'll kind of let you know who is going to make it once they stop on the backstretch. As you got Sean Wallenfels Jr. putting a good run as well. Again, he's another one that we want to keep an eye on. And one that we saw flip earlier, Jason Griffith, in that 985 machine. He was one that went for a little tumble earlier, but here he is battling with right about the top 5 spot. So he very well may make it to the feature race.
Yeah, hopefully he can potentially move up a little further, though, because you don't want to be in that 5th spot right on the finish of the B main. You never know who's going to grab it last minute.
You definitely don't. Bubble spot, very bad place to be, because like people have said, if you're on the bubble spot, it only takes 1 spot to burst that bubble. As right there, it looks like the 24 is going to get by him. That is Tristan Hayter. He's going to get by him now, so if he was on that bubble spot for sure, he is now out of it. But he's fighting back. He's not giving it up just like that. But David Flick, he's putting together a good run for himself. He's out front right now, so if you want to be anywhere safe, that is the spot to be. When really, in all honesty, there is no real safe place out on a racetrack at any given time until the checkered flag waves.
That is exactly right. No one's ever safe.
Speaking of checker flag, it just waved, so it's going to be David Flick making it to the race, followed by the 99 of Will Sylvester, the 21 of Sean Wallenfels Jr., the 24 of Tristan Hayter going to make it, and the 71 of, again, hopefully we get that right, Lyndon, I forgot how to say that, Lebensky or something. Hopefully we got that right. It wasn't chat. We will definitely have to make sure we get that right. Apologies if I didn't once again. But those are the 5 going to be making it here. So that will conclude the B main. Coming up next is going to be your feature race.
It's going to be, I can't wait to see who takes this out tonight. It'll give us an idea of what to expect for the rest of, the season. So
definitely, and if it continues at this rate with 30 plus cars, it's going to be great racing every night.
That's for sure.
But it looks like we do have at least a minute or so here, so give us just 1 minute. We're going to step away and go to a commercial break real fast, and we will be back here, hopefully with your feature race here in just about a minute.
We're for guys who wrench, torque, tune, who see dirty hands as proof of a hard day's work. We're for guys who like to make things go faster, higher, further, and stop them in an instant. who love tools and power. Guys who like to figure it out when no one else can. Who can tell the type of bike by the sound of the engine. Why are they so important? Because without them, this won't get delivered on time. And he doesn't cross the finish line, and the world literally stops moving. At UTI, we don't settle for good, we drive for great. The world's top companies help build our programs so you can get the education you need to achieve success in the automotive, diesel, motorcycle, collision repair, and marine industries. We're for success, your success. Universal Technical Institute.
All right, guys, what's going on now? Again, feature race coming up here in just a minute. For anyone wondering why there's just a couple of random cars driving around the track, these guys are just out here. These are the third place cars that have not been on this track since their heat race. So they do get a chance to go out here and get a feel for this track, you know, so they can adjust on their cars a little bit and get some setups, any tweaks they need to make. So that's why these guys are out right here right now. So again, we are going to step away, but we will be right back once the feature race gets going. We'll explain how all of that's going to work. It's a little bit different the way it is done, but again, we will explain that here in just a few moments. Again, 20 of the best drivers going to be making it here to the feature race, and we'll go through that full lineup for you here in just a little bit. So stand by, and again, we'll be back with your feature race here in just a couple of minutes. All right, we are back here. Your feature race coming up next. Again, gonna be 20 drivers here for this race, and it is gonna be a great one. Again, at this point, race control is about to say, all right, I'm done for the day. Kick back and get some ice cream. iRacing is about to take control. Again, a little bit of a boo-boo. They forgot the 5 extra laps, so we have to get these guys up. So 2 laps on the start of lap 3. We will get racing, so 28 laps here for your feature race. Again, that is all they have. They're going to get 2 laps. So this is new for you, obviously, too, Michaela. So we'll explain it to you, excuse me, and to all these people out here tonight. The way this is going to work is based off of the heat races, the feature, or the trophy dash, the B main, all of that here tonight. These guys are not in the correct order. They are going to get in the correct order here shortly. Again, once they are done pacing, you'll see the inside row take to the inside of the track. The outside row is going to go high towards the outside wall, and all your trophy dash drivers are at the back of the field right now. They're going to come through the middle, get in the correct order, and then we will go racing. Again, we're going to try to get your HRE Motorsports starting grid in, but we are going to have to do it very quickly if we want to do it. So we're going to have to do it just about as fast as these guys have to get in lineup. Normally we'll have an extra 5 laps here. We don't here tonight. So we are going to do it very quickly. If nothing else, we'll just go through the lineup and not pull the graphic up. But that's what's going to happen here. So 28 laps for the feature is going to be quite a few laps here, as the B main was 20, so only 8 more laps than your actual B main.
Yeah, and if the whole night, you know, as anything to go by, it'll probably fly through. Until, you know, you may see those last few laps where everything just steps up a notch and everyone pushes it a little harder.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm looking to see who comes on top. Again, this is not only a new series for V2R, this is a new series for the Northwest Focus Midget Series. They're a real-life series. This is a new for them to be here in the virtual world. This is MaxSpeedTV's first time doing midgets. Your first time in the booth with us here. So a lot of firsts happening here on iRacing lately. And it's kind of cool just to know that, you know, that just being a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, virtual reality and everything, everyone knows that, you know, that's the next step in the way everything is moving. So just to be a part of something like this, it's cutting edge, and, you know, to have the opportunity to log in online and watch, you know, online gaming that is at this quality, it's just epic. Like, it is pretty neat.
It really is. As everyone, now you see them, they are taking to the inside and the outside. Again, 2 laps is all they have. These guys have got to get up to the front very quickly here, as you see them starting to do so. And it looks like we'll see who's going to get up there first. I believe it's going to be the 20 of Brennan Rogers. That's going to be our pole sitter, as these guys have to get up there as quickly as possible. Again, 20 drivers here getting ready to get lined up. And we still have a few trying to get up there. And this should be, we may take an extra lap here, I'm not sure, as they need to get properly lined up. So again, that is coming up here shortly. There's still quite a few drivers in the back of this field that are not lined up here. So we'll see if they do indeed get the green flag or not. Doesn't look like it, so running through it real fast as quick as we can. It's going to be Brennan Rogers, Chase Cabry, Cole Cabry, Eric Myers, Lewis Hewitt, Christopher Kurtzil, Tim Smith. They're still trying to mix it up here. Anthony Lepresto, Harry Edwards, John Lepresto, Chase Crum, and, well, we don't have time. It doesn't matter. Green flag is out for the feature race. A lot of drivers in here. Again, we do apologize. Normally we have time to go through that, but green flag is out. We'll put up the top 3 on the overlay for you, as it is going to be a good battle here. Again, iRacing is in control now, so this could get very interesting here, as right now Brennan Rogers is out front, followed by Chase Cabry and Lewis Hewitt in your top 3. Well, we were talking about Lewis Hewitt there, again, kind of not to show bias as the caution comes out. He is doing a pretty good job right now. And I'm not sure who the caution was for, as everybody is on pace right now. So very interesting to see what it was for, but nobody off pace.
I think if the quality of tonight's anything to go by, you know, the beginning of these heat races and everything, I think that's the quality we can expect for the rest of this series, so it's pretty exciting.
definitely I would agree with that. It has been fantastic. I think we had 2, maybe 3 cautions total in the heat races and the B main and the trophy dash, and then we've had 1 so far here. As we'll take a look, 1 caution for 2 laps as they're getting ready here. Lights are still on the pace car, so we're going to at least take 1 more lap around this track, and they're off now, so next time by we'll get the green flag. They're going to double file up, and your leader right now is the 4 of Chase Cabri. It's going to be interesting. This track looks to be getting a little dusty too on the backstretch anyway, so that could play a factor here in tonight's race. Oh, what? That was a slide job like I've never seen here. Chase Cabri putting a slide job on the 20 of Brennan Rogers. But right now, Brennan Rogers and him battling as a caution's going to come out once again. And this time it's going to be for Dakota Kuhn getting involved. So let's go back here and take a look. I'm not sure what happened here. Right off, the caution came out, or went back to green, and instantly a caution came back out. Dakota Kuhn is on pit road as well as Austin Carr. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, what a violent ride. You'll probably see it here in a second for the 95 of Dakota Kuhn, going again for a violent ride there. So that was our second caution, sponsored by Geico, as that was just an ugly flip, and you would not want to do that in real life. I can promise you that.
No, especially the way that rolled back towards onto the track, having the cars coming at you, that's the worst thing you would want. Especially, you know, in a non-wing car without the wing protecting you. Someone driving towards you, it's your worst nightmare. But obviously this is a little different, so still, they don't want to crash out or they won't have the opportunity to finish up front.
Yeah, definitely. They don't want that, as the green flag is back out. Still, right now, this race has been dominated by Chase Cabri, as he is out front leading Brennan Rogers. And you got Cole Cabri, his brother, sitting in 3rd place right now. So we got a car flipping somewhere. So far, no caution. There goes the caution. And it is going to be Eric Myers going for a violent ride there. Let's go back and take a look. What happened here to Eric Myers? I'm not sure if he had help or not, but either way, he is going to go for a violent ride on the outside wall. Take a look somewhere in here. Oh, just gets into the back of someone and then goes for a violent ride as well. That is one product of these cars here. Is a lot of violent rides when they do happen. Unfortunate, as you're about to see probably on the stream here in just a minute, another violent ride. Again, something you would not want to do in real life. Luckily, doesn't hurt you too bad here in the sim.
Yeah, and that is one thing about non-wing racing, you know. They don't have that wing to absorb the energy as cars, you know, as wing cars roll over and the wing hits, it slows them down dramatically. And obviously being non-wing, I've experienced it myself. I ended up with a concussion. They just go and go and go until eventually they hit something, or potentially they just eventually slow down. So they're definitely much more violent.
Yeah, definitely way more violent here. So we got a good battle going on right now. That is a battle for a 3rd position between Cole Cabri and Lewis Hewitt. Neither one of these guys wanting to give up, as we're already at 10 laps to go here in your feature race. I'm not sure Hewitt may be able to pull a top 3 off right now, but again, Cole Cabry, doing a very good job of holding on to it. We can't even say C. Cabry because there's 2 C's in here as well. So we have to go by Cole Cabry and Chase Cabry. Chase Cabry out front, Cole Cabry sitting in 3rd place right now. But that's a good battle going on for that 3rd position. And you have Tim Smith and Chance Crum coming in as 8 laps to go. Caution's going to come out. And it looks like it's going to be David Flick this time. So we'll see. Not sure. He pulled it on the pit road, so maybe the caution came out. It is a slight side effect here of iRacing. Every once in a while, the caution will come out when you're trying to get to pit road. So that is unfortunate that came out. 6 laps to go here in your feature race. Again, we will go back to a green flag racing this time. Or once again, it looks like we are going to get it this time by 5 laps to go when we get the green flag. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in here tonight. I want to remind everyone, please, for the drivers and the fans out there, if you are new, hit that subscribe button if you like the racing. We bring you MaxSpeedTV. Definitely hit that thumbs up button. Let us know you like this racing. Let the drivers know, all the sponsors know you love the racing here as we're watching a battle for the lead right now as a caution's going to come out once again. And this time it's going to involve Harry Edwards. Let's go back and take a look. Oh, another caution coming out here. No, cautions are breeding cautions here, and I'm not sure we're going to get the green flag again.
Seems all those cautions throughout the night have been saved for this one race.
They indeed have, and this is the one race where caution laps count. So apparently they're saving them up for this race, like you said. It's just getting loose by himself, and then multiple people getting into him there. So violent there, but he is still on the track. So Harry Edwards still racing right now. So even after all that, he's ready. The pace lights are still on. 2 laps to go. This race is, for all intents and purposes, over here, as the lights would have had to gone out before now. It is the final lap. So unfortunately, this race is going to end under caution. Obviously, Chase Cabry getting the win here tonight, unofficially until he crosses the line. Again, I do imagine he probably put enough fuel in there. So again, that is looking at 5th caution of the night for 15 laps. So just actually right at half the race under caution as the checkered flag is waving. So there will be your race winner here. Chase Cabry is going to walk away with the win. So not the way he wanted to win it, I'm sure. But indeed, he did get the win, followed by Brendan Rogers and Cole Cabry here tonight. So again, hang tight with us, folks. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here in just a few moments with your post-race show and get those top 3 drivers in here for an interview. So again, hang tight with us, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with your post-race show, coming in a third place, very close third place here tonight, not by much, is Cole Cabry. So first off, you finished third here tonight, and kind of this is our first time to get to interview you, actually all three of you if I'm correct, so we're going to do it a little different, get a little bit of a background on you here, so we know going forward. I know you race in real life, if I am correct. So coming in here to the virtual side, what do you race actually in real life?
Well, I started off like in go-karts, and I moved up to micro and whatnot, and then I was going to race my brother's late model, and we decided to get out of that. Now I'm racing dirt bikes. So yeah.
Well, dirt bikes definitely something I would not get into, mainly because I like all four wheels on the ground. I've seen some horror stories and seen some from dirt bikes. That is a tough sport. You got to be tough to hang on to that thing. Just going all the jumps and everything. It is definitely a tough sport to do. So mad props to you for doing that. That's something I would steer clear of, because I would be scared crapless to get into one of those or get on one of those. But obviously, any form of racing, it definitely helped you here tonight. You finish third place. So if we hadn't had the cautions, we had a few more green flag runs. It looks like about half the race was under caution. Do you think you had anything for Brennan or Chase tonight?
You know what? I don't think so. Those guys were they were towing the mail around the bottom. I couldn't get it done. The top was just too far up there. I kept on trying it, but Lewis kept on getting under me. So I had to protect third there, and those guys just took off around me. So but it was a good race, and I guess we'll just have to learn for next time.
Yeah, definitely a good finish here tonight. Overall finishing in third place again. Not sure with 32 drivers. I'm not sure what the exact purse is. If it's going to be more or less than 250, but still going to be walking away with a little cash in your hand, and a good points night. Well, if there was points anyways, not really, but there will be a standings of some sort, so you'll be pretty high in that. But any sponsors or just shout-outs you want to give for that third-place finish here tonight?
CSP and my brother Chase, and I guess that's about it.
All right. Well, again, congrats on third-place finish here. Not sure, Michaela, you want to get second place, or you want me to go ahead and take it? I know you obviously weren't able to actually get into the race tonight, but if you want, we can let you have second place to interview.
Yes, that sounds good to me.
All right. Well, we do have Brennan Rogers here, so we'll let you take it away.
Hey, Brandon, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So how did it feel out there tonight, and what did you expect going into this race? And, yeah, talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, I expected a lot of fast guys to show up, which definitely did. We got a lot of fast individuals racing, and I didn't know what to expect here. I knew we were going to have a tackier track than not, so I tried to prepare myself for that the best I could. But we did what we could in the heat. We won that off the pole. We started fifth in the dash and got the win in that. And honestly, gave it away on the start of the feature. I gave the I didn't know quite when or if the top would come in, but I went for it, and Chase thought better of it, got me on the line, and let it from there. But we thought we put together a good showing. We'll just keep coming back as prepared as possible and try to win these events. I know that's what's going to be the key to the championship, is just getting these wins and keep doing consistent runs. So we'll just see. And honestly, would really like to thank everyone at Virtual to Reality, and Joel and just everyone putting this event together. You guys included. Broadcasting. I know exactly how much work all this kind of stuff could be. So big thank you to you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate you on board.
All right, and that leaves but one person to interview here tonight, and that is your race winner, Chase Cabry. First off, we know you race. We've heard your name around here quite often. to see you actually get to race and get to interview you is kind of like a treat for me. I've always heard your name around here, but haven't got to quite do interview with you. But you walk away with the win here on the virtual side of things. So how does it feel compared to getting a win in a real car to getting a win here on the virtual side?
A win is a win. I'll take it. Any win I can get. It was a good race. Brennan put up a good fight, and the bottom's really treacherous. You got to get down there and be down like on the apron, and the apron of what the asphalt track is, and it's super flat. So when you do hit the banking, it'll either get tight, or if you got too much wheel spin, it'll get loose. So it was really hard to be down there, and I knew I had to be down there to go fast. The top was just too high up, and I don't even think it was too high necessarily in the corners, but down the straightaway to get any grip, you had to be on the wall. But it built a cushion like in the middle of the straightaway on the top, like right where the start and finish line was, and it would shoot you back down into the slick. So it was just way too hard to stay up there and to get momentum going to be able to run around the top. So like I said, I knew we had to be down on the bottom, and was lucky enough to be able to put 30 good ones together.
Oh, definitely were. In looking at this track compared to some that we've seen like Lima Land and stuff, it didn't seem like the cushion built up very much, hardly at all for that matter. So as far as running the high side during the heat races or anything like that, or in the feature, if you went up there at all, how much of a cushion did this track have, or did it have any at all? Because it doesn't look like it has very much.
No, it didn't build any in the corner. It built a little bit down the straightaway, but none at all in the corner. So you had to be around the bottom. There was nothing to kind of bang off the top. And I don't know if this track, iRacing's done the update yet to this track where it will get it. Because I definitely feel like this track would be fun if you could. You get some people down around the bottom and then some people banging the curb up top.
Oh, it definitely will be interesting to see once we move on. Again, 19 more weeks of racing here. So it's going to be exciting racing overall. But any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give for the win here tonight?
I'd just like to thank you guys for putting on the show. It's awesome what Joel is putting together, and Joel and the whole guys. Really an incredible series, and it's awesome to see someone making an effort to make it to where people can make their dream come true in real life. So that's really appreciated among the racing industry, and you guys for putting the broadcast on. Looks great. I listened to it in the background as I raced. So you did a good job, Charles, up in the booth. And
all right, well, thanks for the comments, of course. And again, hopefully coming in the closing or the next week, we're going to get Michaela set up here. So who knew iRacing didn't work on Max? So we learned something new here tonight. iRacing, if you're hearing this, maybe you should hook her up with a PC. That would be great. But
these poor guys, they've copped it all night from us.
with any luck, maybe they'll listen to us. Probably not. They're a great group of guys over there, but it would be nice if they hook you up with a PC. We are just about done here. Run through the results real fast here for you here. Again, coming away with the win here tonight, of course, was Chase Cabry. Second place goes to Brendan Rogers. Third place, Cole Cabry. Fourth place, Lewis Hewitt. That was Michaela's pick for her favorite. Still put a solid fourth place finish in here tonight. Fifth place goes to Chance Crum. Again, he actually races in this series in real life, putting together a good top 10 finish here tonight. Sixth place, Anthony Lopresto. Seventh place goes to the 28 of Jesse Choltfelt. So again, hopefully again they get that right. We will try to write all these down so we can memorize them, and we will study them and practice them over and over. Eighth place goes to Will Sylvester. Ninth place, Christopher Kurdziel. 10th place, Harry Edwards. 11th place, Sean Wallenfels Jr. 12th place, John Lopresto. 13th place goes to Lyndon Leiden. 11. We'll get that right eventually, I promise. Levin Dinsky in 13th place. 14th, Tim Smith. 15th, Marty Barnes. 16th goes to David Flick. 17th, Tristan Hayter. 18th, Eric Myers. 19th, Dakota Kuhn. And rounding out your fields here tonight in 20th goes to Austin Carr. So a good field here tonight. So before we sign off for the night, we do want to thank all the sponsors, SimSpeedShop.com, HRE Motorsports, Elite 7 Racing, Virtual2Reality.tv, of course, Dirtco Media House, and Ohio IndyCar League on the racing side of things. And of course, Dirtco Media House. For right now, this month, they are the one supporting us for Facebook Live, which we are on right now. And of course, Payday GG. They are the ones putting all of this on. The purse is put up by them. Everything that is done here on the platform is through them on the back end. None of this would be possible without them. So definitely give them a big shout out. Go to their Facebook page, give them a shout, let them know, give them a good rating, let them know you appreciate all they do. And definitely, if you're looking to get into this race itself, go to their website, sign up at payday.gg, and get into this tournament. That being said, looks like we're just about ready to wrap it up. Michaela, any last thoughts before we sign off for the night?
Honestly, I'm just blown away with how awesome this whole series has come together. And, you know, for Joel to work so hard to get everyone together and put this whole series together and give these guys the opportunity, I'm just excited to be a part of it. And thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight. And hopefully we can have you here on a regular basis.
Well, definitely, I hope so too. And looks like Joel is here with us. So, Joel, any final words you want to convey to everyone out there watching tonight before we hop off for tonight and get ready to gear up for next week?
Yeah, just wanted to say that was a really good show. I mean, it moved along real quick. Race Control did a phenomenal job at migrating everybody from one session to the next. The flow was fantastic. As you know, this is new for us. We're the new kids on the block, so we've always got kind of a lot of tinkering to do, and I think what we'll do is get some of the drivers' feedback. What did they like, what they didn't like, and then constantly reform and retool and just kind of get this going to where it's one of the best shows online.
I definitely think we are headed in that direction. Again, we are just done here for tonight. It looks like everything is covered. Got your race results, interviews, and all that good stuff here in the post-race show. On behalf of the Northwest Focus Midget Series Driver Search and MaxSpeedTV, Virtual to Reality, and all the great sponsors on board, we will see you actually Friday night at the 360 Sprint Car Series. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you then. So have a safe night, and we'll see you at the next race.